colleagues and all the entrepreneurs from all over the country who have joined in, all the officials of the Yes Bank, and I would like to say all those captains of micro and small and medium enterprises who joined in, that you are the real drivers and engine of the Indian economy coming forth, and you are the backbone of Indian economy, as Amit ji very aptly and succinctly put it. And I would like to compliment Speakin, Deepshikha ji, Himanshu, and uh, Amit ji on behalf of Yes Bank, that such laudable initiatives coming through from banks, where you are trying to enlighten all MSME captains and encourage them to avail benefits of remarkable schemes envisaged and initiated by Government of India under leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Certainly, it's a laudable initiative on part of all of you, and I'm sure that all the businessmen, all the entrepreneurs of MSME would certainly avail all these benefits, and the bank itself is coming to the doorstep of all the MSME industry captains, and trying to appeal to them to avail these benefits is a remarkable initiative, Amit ji. My many heartiest congratulations to all of you for organizing this seminar, which I hope would be beneficial to the MSME captains and to all who are listening today. Now, as far as micro, small, and medium enterprises is concerned, it is certainly one of the most vibrant and dynamic sectors of our economy. It is contributing significantly to our GDP and export. It employs around 40% of Indian workforce. And the significance of MSME sector can be noted from the fact that this is the single largest employment provider after agriculture in India. And in India, presently, there are 56 million such enterprises, which are MSME enterprises, which are working in various industries and employing close to 124 million people. Now, of these, nearly 14% are women-led enterprises, and close to 60% are based in rural areas, which goes on to reflect the kind of prowess that our MSME enterprises have. And not only this, the MSME sector accounts for about 8 to 10% of our GDP. And I think nearly half of our exports are from the MSME sector. And therefore, this government has well and truly and very rightly so acknowledged the prowess of MSME sector. And MSME is certainly one of the thrust focus areas, not only of this government, uh, but you have seen Prime Minister himself addressing and stating that MSMEs are backbone of our economy. Finance Minister has also stated, things along the same line. And you have seen banks like several banks, public sector banks and other banks also, SBI, Yes Bank, they are all following up and trying to ensure that maximum number of MSME captains and industries avail the benefits, especially which have been conceived by the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Now, MSMEs, clearly they have helped in industrialization of rural and backward areas. This has reduced regional imbalances also. They have assured more and equitable distribution of national income and wealth. And MSMEs are complementary to large industries as ancillary units. MSMEs also contribute enormously to our social economic development. And we all acknowledge the kind of employment that MSMEs provides. Nearly half of all our employment, they come from MSME sector. And especially in COVID times, the government also believed that MSMEs, they need to be supported. And therefore, in COVID, each and every industry, in fact, each and every individual got affected by COVID. Socially, economically, COVID had impact all over the world. So no sector or no section of the economy was left, without any impact of COVID. And therefore, this our MSME sector was also hit. It was hit very badly hit, and Therefore, in order to revive the Indian economy from this effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has announced an economic package under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. The main thrust of announcements has been to provide massive economic stimulus to our micro, small, and medium enterprises. You would all recall that Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji in his address to the nation on 12th of May emphasized that MSME sector will act as backbone and bedrock for economic revival, intending to get MSME sector back on track, back on its feet. Prime Minister himself announced and unveiled a major 20 lakh crore economic impetus program, which we all know, you all know as Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan very popularly. Thereafter, you saw that Honorable Finance Minister also followed up on those announcements the very next day. She announced about 7, 8 major regulatory measures which were part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and which were especially directed towards the MSME sector as a part of series of announcement made by the government. And this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan intends to address the needs of MSME sector. It paves a path for long-term sustainability and profitability of MSMEs. And I would like to note that each and every company of whatever scale and proportions that it might be, it started from being a micro MSME company, and then it graduated to become, Apple and Reliance and Tatas of the world. So therefore, I'm sure large number of you, because Indian economy is on a massive growth path, and in next few years we are going to become a 5 trillion economy. We have already overtaken our colonial rulers in the past, whether it was France or UK. And obviously, COVID had impact, but I'm sure it would be momentary. And most of the large financial rating agencies have predicted that India is going to clock a double-digit growth rate for coming 3 to 4 years, certainly, without any doubt. And I'm sure as Indian economy grows, our MSME sector will outperform and outpace the average GDP growth, and therefore we are very optimistic about the MSME sector. Now, before we come to the specific announcements of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and how these schemes are structured, what are its basic features, and how we can all avail benefits of these schemes, I will briefly touch upon the contours of the MSME Act 2006. And this act, as you all know, was envisaged and notified in 2006 to address policy issues affecting MSME, as well as coverage and investment ceiling in the MSME sector. The Act seeks to facilitate the development of MSME enterprises. It also enhances their competitiveness. It provides the first ever legal framework for recognition of concept of enterprise, which comprises both manufacturing and servicing entities. It defines micro, small, and medium-term enterprises, a 3 tier of these enterprises for the first time. So that is how it is been envisaged originally. But the kind of remarkable visionary reforms which have come through in the MSME Act also, we will deal with it, how the definition itself of MSMEs has been changed, and which has immensely benefited large number of our enterprises, whether they are in service or in manufacturing. We'll come to that specifically. Now, as I mentioned to you, there are 7, 8 major heads under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which all of you can avail, all the MSME captains and all our industrialists can avail. And it is a good initiative that Yes Bank has started a campaign, because I believe the last dates are also going to reach very soon, and it is good that this kind of campaign ensures that maximum number of deserving entrepreneurs like all of you, they get benefits out of all these welfare schemes which the government has devised, obviously, for benefit of all of you. Now, under this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the first and foremost, major policy initiative was collateral-free loans. Now, what were these collateral-free loans? So it made an allocation of about 3 lakh crores, which is the biggest allocation to MSME industry. In fact, earlier, this was not even the entire budget of MSME when we started out. So 3 lakh crores of collateral-free automatic loans for all the MSMEs. All the MSMEs were eligible for this. Now, this scheme was implemented, is to be implemented by Department of Financial Services. Up to 25 crores can be borrowed, and all those with turnover of about 100 crores were eligible. The loan tenure would be about 4 years. There is a moratorium which is operating for 12 months with respect to payment of the principal. Then interests were capped, and there is a 100% guarantee cover which banks and NBFCs they get on principle by the government of India and the agencies of government of India. And the beauty is that all MSMEs virtually, large number of startups and all the micro, small, medium sector companies are eligible to apply under this scheme. We'll come to that aspect where these schemes have been implemented, and these are not schemes on paper. Lakhs and lakhs of crores have already been disbursed. Amit ji will also perhaps address that issue. And we are looking forward to the scenario that this entire 3 lakh crore, the provision which government has made, all this is for the benefit of our MSME brothers and sisters. And we all want, our endeavor is, and therefore endeavor of organizations like Yes Bank or Speakin or SBI is also to ensure that maximum benefit accrues to all the MSME and captains of MSME industry. Now, another important aspect for all of you is that how do you avail benefits of these large welfare schemes? Because there are a lot of misgivings, there are a lot of confusions also, which are sought to be propounded by certain vested interests that these schemes are on paper, although that is certainly far, far from truth, and all of you can certainly avail benefits of these schemes. Now, these schemes can be availed through all the banks, whether it is PSU banks or other banks, and through DFS, through Nationalized Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited, which in short is known as NCGTC. Now, in fact, I would request Amit ji, while we are concluding, that he can also guide all the MSME captains as to how to avail these benefits in the easiest possible manner. And if we have any ready write-up or material on that, that also you can consider circulating to all our friends who have joined from across the country, and I was told even across the globe. Now, these collateral-free credit line and the subordinate debt to MSME has proven to be a game changer, really, for the entire sector. And MSME sector, which was finding it hard to get credit support from banks and other financial institutions, it will make it lucrative for risk-averse banks to resume lending operations, as the government will act as 100% guarantor on both principal and interest. So therefore, even for benefit of some of our viewers in Hindi, I can say that कि सरकार ने पूरी गारंटी दी है प्रिंसिपल पे भी और इंटरेस्ट पे भी, और आप ये लोन अवेल करेंगे तो सरकार उसका गारंटी दे रहा है, उसके लिए कोई कोलैटरल की आवश्यकता नहीं है, और आप सब इस लोन को बैंक्स में जाके अवेल कर सकते हैं. ऑलरेडी लाखों करोड़ के लोन जो हैं वो डिसबर्स हो चुके हैं. Now, the guarantee from government will further ease pressure on banks and other financial institutions, as they will not have to make provisions in case the loan account turns NPA, which is one of the legitimate apprehensions which our banks were having. So that also government in leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has very fairly addressed those concerns and issues also, and therefore it's a very laudable initiative by Government of India. Now, the second major policy initiative which has been taken under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is that there is a new definition of micro, small, and medium enterprises, which has been introduced in the Act itself. And what has it led to? Now, the basic feature, the basic characteristic here is that there is now a distinction, the distinction which was there between manufacturing and services sector, that stands completely eliminated. So therefore, there is no discrimination between one sector, another sector, and all the sectors of the economy can avail benefits of the MSME Act. Now the, please excuse me. Now the composite criteria, which is annual turnover and investment for manufacturing and services sector, has been for micro industries, the investments where investments are less than 1 crore and turnover is less than 5 crore, they'll be termed as micro industries. Where investment is less than 10 crores and turnover is less than 50 crores, they will be categorized as small industries. And where turnover is less than, investment is less than 50 crores and turnover is less than 250 crores, they will be categorized as medium scale enterprises. Now, the revising of this definition of MSME under the MSME Act is intended to bring more MSME enterprises into the purview of being classified as MSMEs so that they can reap benefits associated with it. Under the new definition, the investments and the limit for micro, small, and medium enterprises have also been raised substantially. And most importantly, the distinction between manufacturing and services has been abolished. Now, this measure is certainly going to widen the net of benefits associated with classification of an MSME to many more enterprises. And I believe there are a large number of companies, I think majority of them, certainly much more than 75%, who will now be able to avail the benefits of the MSME Act because they would all fall within the ambit of MSME company. Now, the third major feature is the equity infusion for MSMEs, and about rupees 50,000 crore equity infusion for MSMEs has been envisaged through Fund of Funds. Now, this is going to provide equity funding for MSMEs with growth potential and viability. Funds of Fund will be operated through a mother fund and a few subsidiary funds. This will help to expand MSME size and capacity. This will encourage MSMEs to get listed on major stock exchanges and maybe even foreign exchanges also they could get listed. Now, how do we avail benefits of this? Now, this scheme can be availed and applied through investor funds on boarded and registered with proposed fund of funds. So, and I'm sure, Yes Bank or other bankers would certainly help all of you in facilitating to apply for this funds of fund and equity infusion scheme. Now, this funds of funds with a corpus of rupees 10,000 crores is, the government through these funds will pick up an equity stake in MSME with growth potential and viability. These equity infusions will lead to increase in size and capacity of the MSMEs, and a revision in definition of MSME is correlated to this fact also. Further, the goal of such equity infusion is to encourage MSMEs to list on several stock exchanges so that they become liquid and they are flush with funds. Now, the fourth major policy initiative is the debt for stressed MSMEs. Amitji, would you like to ask any questions, or we can take it later on?
I think we should complete it, and after that we will take a couple of questions, and hence the flow continue to remain. So I would request if you
Sure.
can share your thoughts completely.
Okay, right. So the fourth major policy initiative is the debt for stressed MSMEs, and about rupees 20,000 crores of subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs is sought to be addressed. Now, functioning of MSMEs which are NPAs or are stressed will all be eligible for this scheme. Government will provide a support of 4,000 crores to CGT MSME, and this CGT MSME will provide partial credit guarantee support to banks also. The promoters of the MSME will be given debt by banks, which will then be infused by promoter as equity in the unit. Now, another major policy initiative of this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan was that global tenders, which are up to about 200 crores, they will all be exclusively for not only MSMEs, but all Indian companies. And this is a major step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, towards self-reliant India. And the major feature, as I mentioned to you, global tenders will be disallowed in government procurement tenders up to 200 crores. So therefore, meaning thereby that 200 up to 200 crores, the tenders will all be pan-India. They will not be global tenders, and international companies will not be eligible to participate on any tender below 200 crore. And if at all there is any participation, it can only be when Indian company is leading the application, or leading the applying for this particular project or tender. Now, this is certainly going to help the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and it's a major step towards self-reliant India and Make in India also. This will certainly help MSMEs to increase their business, and I'm sure that this will also improve and enhance their quality, their capacities, and we could see large number of our own MSMEs becoming world leaders because they will get more opportunities to participate in high value tenders. And uh, we have seen world over, wherever Indians and Indian companies have got opportunity, they are not behind anyone else, and in fact they have outshined people from other nationalities and other companies also, so to speak. So therefore, this is yet another major initiative, and this certainly will provide a lot of impetus to MSMEs and Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan both. Now, there is a concept for online marketplace also, which has been introduced. These online marketplace for MSMEs intended to help all market participants, including end consumer, affordable products and services, and the narrative of Make in India and national unity during marketing will be attractive to cash-strapped consumers, wherever they are. And in fact, after all these amendments, virtually all these startups are also fully covered within the domain and ambit of MSME. And whether they are in operating in manufacturing, services, or any other ancillary sector, they will all be entitled to avail the benefits of the amendments to the MSME Act and all the schemes which have been envisaged under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Now, certainly, overall, India is a net importer, and import substitution is going to empower us to shift away our dependence from other major countries. In fact, I believe that Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and import substitution also is primarily focused on giving fillip to MSMEs as the internal demand and potential that India has, coupled with demographic advantages, which we provide, the mass scale employment that and high skilled labor that we have. MSMEs will be on track to achieve economies of scale in the coming times. Now, as far as these schemes are concerned, they are not merely schemes on paper, and large number of these schemes have already been implemented, and lakhs of people have benefited, and lakhs of crores of funds have been disbursed. So these schemes were unveiled on 13th of May. So now it has been today. We are in October, so about 5 months has gone by. So what has been our experience, whether these schemes are on paper or they are certainly schemes which are resulting in real benefits to MSME, can be evident from the following facts and figures that I wish to share with you. Now, Union Finance Minister, I believe in last week of September, has said that around 1.77 lakh crore of credit has already been sanctioned by public sector banks and private banks to MSMEs. 1.77 lakh crores. So, which is this kind of disbursement and lending to MSMEs has never happened in past. And I doubt if it has happened all through the course of our in our contemporary times. Even if you put the last decade together, this kind of lending may not have happened. And I believe this figure would have already crossed 2 lakh crores as we speak today. Now, and even individuals reeling under the slowdown which was caused by COVID pandemic, they also stand to benefit from this. Now, disbursement against sanctioned amounts stood at 1,25,425 crores. So this is the amount which has been disbursed, and 1.77 lakh was sanctioned, but this was the data of 21st of September. Now we are in the middle of October, so therefore I'm sure it would have crossed 2 lakh crores. The ambit of this scheme was expanded to include MSMEs with turnover of up to 250 crores and individuals for business purposes. So as on 21st of September 2020, rupees 9,849 crores of loans to individuals has been sanctioned, of which 2,617 crores has already been disbursed. Now, along with this, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji stated that under the 100% ECLGS, loan amount sanctioned by PSB has increased to 79,347 crores. Now, compared to 3 September 2020, there is an increase of about 16,335 crore in the cumulative amount of loans sanctioned, and an increase of 11,711 crores in cumulative amount of loans dispersed by both PSBs and private sector banks combined as on 21st September 2020. Now, Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign does not merely provide some liquidity solution and immediate benefit or relief to the MSME enterprises, but it also, makes a structural effort to ensure that their long-term sustainability and to make them, scale up their economies are also addressed. So those concerns are also addressed by this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. Now, from the perspective of long-term sustainability of MSMEs, FM had announced several measures which include smart industrial village policy, promoting Swadeshi ideology via policy and strategy drafting, access to information technology enabled services at an affordable cost, which would bring the MSME sector on a level playing field with bigger players. Because we know that our MSME sector is very capable, and people who are employed are very competent and meritorious. They just need a level playing field, because so that they are also able to match the prowess of some of the big deep pocket industries. And therefore, once the level playing field is there, I'm sure a lot of MSMEs are bound to grow with great speed. Now, therefore, all these, to promote innovation and upscale MSMEs to withstand global competitions, technology upgradation of MSMEs to minimize external risks to tolerable, acceptable levels, encouraging corporatization of MSME sectors, encouraging innovations through setting up of large number of businesses, uh, uh, making provisions for incubating company, handholding them to scale up their economies, as I was mentioning, and other incubators in educational institutions, formation of long-term policies for timely receipt of payments by MSMEs, etc. Now, with regard to financial investment to assistance to MSMEs, the measures include prioritizing lending to MSMEs from banks by including small enterprises in the earmarked priority sector and raising the sub-target limit to 10% from 7.5%. Collateral free and mudra small loans to encourage self-employment, relaxing ceiling on working capital by banks. So these are all long-term initiatives to ensure that our MSMEs have a bright, sustainable, and a lasting future ahead. So this is not just a flash in the pan or a stopgap arrangement to ensure that MSMEs, they are able to get back on their feet. But in addition to these are large-scale reforms which are envisaged to address several issues which were plaguing the MSME sector. And I can assure you that more is still to come. So, because I believe we are, we are on a timeline, and I do not wish to cross the time limit. There will be some question answers also. But I would like to yet again say to all of you that all the MSME industrialists, everyone, as I mentioned to you, it started out with a micro company, and they became a global world leader. And so can all of you. The best part is that you are all placed in a country which is on a major growth curve, and we have already overtaken large number of economies. But for this COVID pandemic, our growth curve would have gone on unhindered, and maybe to a double digit growth this year itself. But I think there is no reason to be disappointed, because in this crisis we are also presented with a opportunity. Large number of disruptions, they happen in such times, even technological disruptions or business disruptions. And these times, they provide opportunity for our MSME sector to, they can perhaps be, bring disruptive technologies in their own industry, and they themselves, in a small amount of time, in this kind of a period, they themselves can become, one of the, not only top Indian company, but one of the top world companies. So this crisis, this does provide an opportunity also for the MSME sector, which may not be there, this kind of potential for a sudden and sudden rise, so to speak. It may not be there all for all time. So therefore, this also presents an opportunity, and I can see large number of you have also joined in, because you are also very mindful of that you can grow by leaps and bounds, and you yourself can become a major company. you know, the only downside is that then you will not fall within the ambit of a medium enterprise and you'll outgrow. But certainly that is a scenario which will make all of us proud. Not only that, uh, like large number of industries, India, when the COVID pandemic started, we were not manufacturing many PPE kits. We were not manufacturing whole lot of sanitizers. And today we are, not only addressing to one of the biggest population in the world, we are, fully self-reliant, self-sufficient, but we are also in a position to export it if need be. And therefore, India has been providing for the world also in times of these crises. And if the sector of economy which has stood up on its legs to provide for the entire world, it is our MSME sectors. A large number of PPE kits and all these, whether it is sanitizers and a large number of such things, COVID related products also, which have emerged and their growth has spurted in past few months. They are all coming from MSME sector predominantly. So, and I believe you have all become world leaders now. We see that large number of medium scale companies who are in pharma business and other businesses also. They have also become leaders in their own sector. So therefore, it's not at all a cause for us to be disappointed for even iota of a moment. And there is long journey ahead, but the road is very clear. You have a government which is fully supporting you. You can see that MSME today is one of the thrust areas of our policy making by the government, and the kind of emphasis which we repeatedly see, whether Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji himself addresses several issues pertaining to MSME, and Finance Minister and other banks are also according top priority to MSME. So therefore, in my opinion, MSME, which is the backbone of Indian economy. The sector has proven instrumental in growth of the nation. It has leveraged exports, creating huge employment opportunities for the unskilled and graduates, skilled also, and even those who are underemployed. It has also extended opportunities to banks for giving more credit to MSME sector, collateral-free assistance or sovereign credit guarantees to micro, small, and medium enterprises will ease the financial crunch, certainly. And in long run, the government has enabled financial institutions to lend more credit at less interest for long-term sustainability of our micro, small, and medium enterprises sector. I'm very sure and confident that large number of you who are listening to us today and your colleagues in MSME sectors are on a rapid growth curve, and you will soon become major big companies in times to come. And I'm sure bankers like Yes Bank and organizations like Speakin and certainly the government of India led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is doing its utmost to address all these issues. And this is not the end. There are large number of other issues and large number of initiatives which are surely going to be taken in future. You have seen the kind of revolutionary, remarkable reforms which have been ushered in past 1 year especially. And I can tell you that large number of reforms, whether economic, legal, to unshackle the MSME sector and to provide them all impetus and prowess to empower them to become big companies. The government is, I'm sure, certainly seized with that, and you will see more of this in future times. Thank you very much to all of you. Vishalji, you can proceed if there are certain question answers, and Himanshu is also moderating, so he can also, and whatever questions which are directed towards banking and which are towards facilitating our friends from MSME, that also Vishalji can respond. Thank you
Absolutely,
very much.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha. Thank you so much for the fantastic thoughts and for sharing your insights. It was indeed a phenomenal discussion, and thank you for sharing your views about what government is doing and
Thank you
what
very
are
much.
the some of the what are some of the helplines which many MSMEs can opt for. Indeed, MSME sector, as you rightly said, is the backbone of the Indian economy, and we can actually see a very enthusiastic participation from our viewers here. They have a lot of questions, some of them being very, typical for the bank. So I'll let Mr. Jain take care of such questions. I'll start with the questions that I have,
Yes,
and
Himanshu, I'm sure Mr. Jan will not only take care of the questions, he will take care of the concerns and address them also. So they can ask all the questions pertaining to bank with Mr. Jan.
absolutely, absolutely, certainly.
Surely.
Sure, sure, great. So,
Please.
I have a few questions in front of me. I'll start with the first question. I'll direct the question to, one of the esteemed panelists here. However, the other person can, is most welcome to, share his thoughts on the same. So, first is coming up from George, who's asking, and this is, although it's slightly related to the tourism sector, but still would have to know your, generic thoughts over this issue. So George is mentioning that tourism sector is the most hit during the pandemic, and he also has he's also optimistic that the tourism sector will come back in a booming way, latest by October 2021. So the question that he's asking is by how much power the MSME sector has to ensure enough working capital funds are available for tourism companies. Just your general thoughts on that. It would be really helpful.
Himanshu, you're asking this to me?
Yes, Mr. Singh.
Okay, okay, right. Now, this is a pertinent question, and undoubtedly, tourism and travel has been one of the most affected sectors of the economy. But as our friend, my audio is not very clear. I missed his name, George.
Yes, George.
So, as George, he himself as, coming from tourism and travel sector, he's, the remarkable thing is he's so optimistic and positive about the industry outlook. Although, this, presently it may not be in such a good shape. But I entirely agree with, George's outlook because the first thing we are all going to do when this, pandemic subsides and it is mitigated to a large extent is that we are all going to start traveling and touring. There may be some holidays also in offing. So and people are going to realize that the uh, the eternal value or the worth of having good quality time, whether with your family, friends, traveling, holidaying. So sector has a bright outlook. There's no doubt about it. uh, Now, as far as his concerns with respect to working capital, etc., I can assure you that the distinction which was removed between service sector and manufacturing sector was only to address such industries like tours and travels and hospitality industry, and you can all avail the working capital benefits. In fact, I would request not only to Yes Bank is it has it has restructured itself, and now it is very much is in position. It is providing and supporting large number of other companies. And I would appeal to other banks also that this is the time to provide more and more working capital. And they have all been lying, all the banks are lying flush with funds, and I'm sure they will have more and more disbursements. The government policies certainly mandate so, and therefore what George is saying is certainly reflected in the kind of amendments which have come through in the act. And I can assure even all the bankers, they themselves are financial experts, and you would all know that nobody has any doubt that India is certainly going to be one of the leading and fastest growing economies of the world. There's no any doubt about the fact that good businesses and good businesses, good business practices are bound to lead to rapid business growth, and therefore banks should also consider providing more and more working capital. And I'm sure that many of these companies to which our bankers provide the working capital, they are going to become global leaders, and they themselves will be supportive of such banks. And I'm sure in these industries which are hospitality and hotel and tours and travels, once it opens up, there'll be a big spike up. So that also is something which our bankers would consider. And I'm sure this working capital issue, it's a very genuine issue for the MSME sector, and all the banks should be addressing it, and the government has already made policies to that effect, and the bankers are obliged to address it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha, for that answer, for that
Thank you.
valuable answer. The next question that I have, I'll once again direct this question to Mr. Raman Sinha here. This question is from Athar Salim. I'm really sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. So Athar Salim is from Vadodara, and his question is that I believe he's regarding the economic package. He is unable to avail the package from some of the banks. So his question is that does is the economic package only for those who already have some or other loans, and not for companies who do not have that at the present? And does it also mean that the government of India is providing this facility to only those who are already in the red zone? So your thoughts on that, Mr. Sinha?
Himanshu, I could not,
Okay.
there is some problem with the audio. I'm not able to hear very clearly. Can
So
you just, just
I'll
mention
repeat
it
the
once
question.
more?
I'll give you the gist of the question. The question is from
Yes.
Mr. Athar Salim, and Athar Salim is asking: is
Yes.
the economic package only for those who already have some other loans with them, and not for the first timers? And is the government of India providing this facility only to those who are in the red zone?
No, no, not at all, Salim ji. In fact, economic package is Atmanirbhar Bharat is for all of you to avail from. And in fact, you stand on a better footing because you have not availed any loan. So bankers, I'm sure, will factor that in, and they will be more, willing and open to give a loan to a company which has not availed any loan, rather than those who are already having, loans in their books. They would assess that, they would give to them also. This is a package which envisages loans even for those who are in debt, and even equity infusion. But certainly those who do not have any loans in their books, they will be at a better footing. So therefore there is no any distinction. Whosoever is eligible for this, they can avail this. And I can tell you, although this has been very generously organized by a bank which has restructured itself, but let me tell all of you that if bankers, they do not fall in line, there is a very strong regulator also. If there are any complaints that the schemes envisaged under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, because these are all statutory enactments, if there are any such issues, specific issues, they can be certainly addressed, and RBI will take note of it, regulator will take note of it, even finance ministry will take note and ensure that the mandate of the law is followed. And banks themselves, when today you see that Amit Jain is sitting here, the Yes Bank is organizing this, that please come and avail these benefits. I do not see why bankers will create any problems, but certainly, those who are, availing these schemes, they have to be eligible, and they have to fall within those criterias. But as far as question of our Salim ji is concerned, he can rest assured that those who are not having loans in books are certainly going to be treated with, much more favor by the banks than those who are having some loans. But regardless of that, the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is for all and each and every one of you, and you can all avail benefits of this scheme. If you have any problem or any issues, if under a particular scheme and a policy, a bank is not providing you that particular benefit or not allowing you to avail the scheme, you can also, list that out and mention it before the competent authorities. and they will take a view and certainly ensure that the mandate of law is followed.
No, certainly, certainly. Thank you so much for that. So,
Thank you.
while we are at it, there is this one question that I found it from an anonymous attendee, but it's a very important question. I really should, I really think that, Mr. Jain can answer this question. This is with respect to the person is asking, can you state the steps to avail the MSME loan from Yes Bank? Once again, something very important, and many people probably here are wanting to know your thoughts on the same and how do we go about this. So over to you, Mr. Jain.
Himanshu, I missed your statement, so you got to repeat.
Okay.
I heard you incompletely, so I don't want to respond without complete understanding.
Sure, not an issue, not an issue. I think audio is slightly a problem. My sincere apologies for that. So the question is that can you state the steps to avail the MSME loan from Yes Bank?
Okay, so Mr. Sinha has covered this extensively in terms of various government schemes. Briefly to touch upon various products, those are available in context with the schemes that Government of India has come in last 6 months, or otherwise that we help MSMEs in terms of availing loans. So first I will try and address the second part of it, where MSMEs can go from very, very small loans under the Mudra schemes, which are unsecured in nature. It could be for creation of asset. For example, you want to buy a commercial vehicle for running your business. Those are also available. You want to buy an auto loan, those are available. There are gold loans. So I'm talking about smaller ticket loans, right? Those are available. As you go slightly higher, you have unsecured business loan also available from the bank. You further have overdraft and term loans available depending upon the structure and the business that you are into. So if you want a regular cash credit and overdraft, we do offer it to you starting with as small as maybe 10 lakhs going up to a couple of crores, depending upon your categorization, whether you are a micro enterprise or a small enterprise or a medium enterprise. Right, and we do not only depend on one set of information to assess, and hence if you have real financial liability, you could go with GST information, you could use the bank statement, right? So in terms of availing, you just walk into our nearest branches, put up your requirement, give the document as may be available with you. We will ensure that we try and customize depending upon your requirement and offer you from the multiple products that are available, which are secured and unsecured. And depending on the tenor of the loan, you may want short-term loan, you may want long-term loans, you may want rolling loans, right? Every year renewable. So all the schemes are available with the bank. Just walk down to nearest branch, go onto our website, apply loan there, right? We will reach out to you, and this is not as difficult as in previous couple of years, right? And as a bank, we are pretty tech enabled, so we will be able to reach out very, very soon to you guys.
Excellent, Amitji.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jain, for
In fact,
that.
I can request you here, Himanshu.
Yes.
So all these products and the method of availing them, which Amitji was mentioning, you can circulate to all our friends who have joined on email. And Amitji also, if you can provide an email address where, if there are any queries or, to facilitate them and to help them in availing these benefits, they can address it to that particular email. So it will help all our friends who have joined in.
Absolutely, we shall do that.
Absolutely, Mr. Sinha, very rightly mentioned. And Yes Bank is actually here to help the MSME sector, and that's why they have come up with this entire fantastic series of events that we are one of which we are witnessing right now. I'll move on to the next question, and this question is directed towards Mr. Sinha once again. This question is from Mr. Raghu K. Mathur. I'm so sorry once again if I pronounce the name incorrectly. Raghu is from Maximus Infoware, and his question is that please provide us clarity on recovery aspect and immunity under the MSME Act. It's a very broad question, but Mr. Sinha, major takeaways from this would be very well appreciated. Thank you.
No, but recovery and immunity, what does he mean by that exactly?
Raghu, if you would elaborate on this further, I think Mr. Sinha would be able to better address this question. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I think we can move on to the other question that I have. So the other question, and this one is from R.K. Gupta. The question is, can you please share main features of labor reforms bill in reference to SSI units?
Himanshu, I believe you already overshot your time, and we already beyond 5 p.m. But certainly, since my friends have posed these questions, now labor reforms, we have seen that they have been in offing for a long, long time, for decades and decades. These labor reforms were envisaged, they were discussed, deliberated upon, and nothing happened. But these labor reforms, they have now been enacted into 4 labor codes. And one of the major concerns for MSMEs were that, this license quota Raj, or which used to be infamously called Inspector Raj, was troubling them quite a lot. In fact, labor's laws had large number of issues. But what labor laws has, the labor codes has done is that made it very simplified, made it very easy. Any one of you can have your startup or MSME and not worry about, getting unfairly treated by any labor laws. In fact, these labor codes are progressive for laborers also, and they address several concerns of MSMEs also, in the sense that, earlier large number of labor in the unorganized sector and different sectors, they did not have benefit of any of the large welfare labor schemes. Now they are all covered within that ambit. So certainly these schemes, the labor code, the labor reforms which have been enacted, are very progressive, not only for our MSMEs, but also for our laborers.
Thank you so much. I think in the interest of time, obviously this is a huge bill, and getting into the details of this would probably take another entire session. But in the interest of time, I think that's a fantastic answer. We have really overshot the time here, and I would here like to invite Mr. Amit Jain back on the screen so that he can share his closing thoughts. For all the other questions, they are still keen, they are still coming in. Please get in touch with Yes Bank. I'm sure the team would be more than happy to help you. And
Anshu, if you want to take one more question, you can take if you wish to, because if there are large number of people asking, whichever question you feel is the best.
Okay, sure. That's very kind of you. So, Mr. Aman Sinha has,
And if there are any other questions which are left, Himanshu, let all of them be addressed to email, and you can also email that to me. I'll be too glad to respond.
Absolutely, absolutely. Why not? So my one final question, and this question is from Sunil Makad. The question is that if we qualify under medium enterprises, do we still get the benefits as small, micro and small service sector?
No, when you qualify under medium enterprises, you get benefit under medium enterprises. So therefore, there is no any difficulty about it. It has been categorized. But let me say that large number of benefits are also available across the board. So you also have to see which is the particular benefit that you wish to avail for, and therefore whatever the position which exists under the MSME Act and the rules which have been formulated there under, you will be eligible for that. But the general approach of MSME Act is that wherever you can, give benefit to, whether it is micro, medium, or small, you should give that benefit, and therefore it would be available. But under the rules, there may be some stipulations, so you have to see which is the particular benefit that you wish to avail for. And when you have become medium, why do you wish to become, micro or small? So you help your small and micro industries to grow, and you outgrow of medium and become a big corporate.
Certainly, certainly. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Sinha. Mr. Jain, if you would like to share your closing remarks on this and thank Mr. Sinha for the session, it will be really fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Manshu. So it has been a wonderful session, and the way Mr. Sinha has kind of covered across various spectrum of MSME in terms of the definition of MSME, what are the various schemes government of India has come out in recent time, basically to handle the COVID situation, where the core strength of MSME is to create employment and be part of the backbone of our economy. And government of India, with its own clear intent for it not to fail and prosper as it would be prior to the COVID situation, has ensured that it holds the hand of these MSMEs and further ensure that availability of funds, which is like a bloodstream of the economy, be available with MSME, and clearly covering up banks' issues in terms of uncertainty, which is natural out of COVID, be answered. So in terms of GECL guarantees up to 3 lakh crore, which Government of India has given, the equity infusion scheme, which they have given, the debt structuring scheme, which is available, the tender scheme, which is available, various other initiative in terms of Swadeshi scheme for various items, the smart village scheme, which has been introduced in last 6 months, have been really very well covered by Mr. Sinha. Further, Mr. Sinha talked about the CGTMC and the Mudra loans, which are available on regular basis. I think this session has been very useful to me personally and all our MSME customers and the patrons in our session here. It could have been any better in 1 hour's time. The way Mr. Sinha has taken questions and has been really vocal about how regulators are also available. So the bankers are not the last one to have the say, right? So this cohesive work by regulator, by banker, by MSME for surely is going to be a great benefit for our economy and country as whole. With that note, I would like to thank Mr. Sinha taking us through the wonderful session for last 1 hour and handling all the questions and the concerns. Lastly, the questions those have come from all the MSMEs shall be noted, and we will try and do our best in terms of responding either from the bank side or from Mr. Sinha's side as may be possible in due course. So with that, thank you so much all the participants, and thank you so much Mr. Sinha for the wonderful session. Over to you, Himanshu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jain, for the closing remarks. You've already covered a lot in your closing remarks. So I think the job right now for me is to extend my very warm thanks to Mr. Sinha for gracing the session with his esteemed presence. Thank you so much to all the viewers here who have joined the session and have made it very engaging through their questions. And of course, thank you so much for Yes Bank Group for taking this fantastic initiative to helping out the MSME sector. I hope everyone has a great evening ahead and a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much and take care. Stay safe.